we go. Hello, Northstar here with a new Let's Play of Interstellar Transport Company. I actually tried to do one of these before. There might be a save. No, it didn't even get as far as saving, but it crashed because it was simultaneously uploading videos, editing a video. It was just too hard on my computer. Let's see. Looks like it saved my settings. I didn't touch the cache, the loans. Wanted Mars, SpaceX. Okay, that's clearly SpaceX. ESTA, European Space Transit Agency, I guess. Come on, give me a different Alpha Transportation. You know what? Sure. I set the difficulty to easy for the AI so they don't go bankrupt as they often do, and easy for me because if I'm going to compete with that, they're still going to have a massive advantage. And I just want a laid back game. Let's go. Hope I get some views in this. The point of this YouTube channel is, well, 3 things. 1, some of you hopefully it'll make your lives a little better. You'll enjoy the videos. 2, I'm trying to build my channel to the point where I can add revenue so that I can leave the country. I mean, the United States, it is going fascist. I think it's well past the point of no return, the point I need to leave. I've seen all the warning signs. You may think I'm alarmist, but the only reason I can't is because I'm disabled with long COVID, and I do not have a means. Hold on, if it crashes here. God, I don't need this pop-up. I know. I know how this works, or at least it's been long enough. Whatever. So that's the star map. Only thing I don't remember is where in the interface was the orbit's permanent line. I don't like these nonsense where you see it go around like that. That's stupid. This will be news pop-ups. Oh yeah, this is probably a graphics option. Nope. Give me a second. Wait a second, they're all solid now. Why? I didn't change anything. Did I click something? I did that? I must have. Great, I don't remember what key that hit that, but as long as I know how this works, stupid. I've done the solely responsible scenario before. Maybe I'll do that to see if that gets views. But point of this channel, yeah, I know about no research points. I figured it would give me that. Let's get all the lost, all that stuff out of the way. While I talk here is, as I said, the U.S. going fascist. Disabled with long COVID. I'm trying to get this channel big enough that'll make ad money, and potentially I can move to Europe or Canada or something. And say, look, I know I'm disabled, I can't work normal jobs, but I got this YouTube channel. I'm making ad revenue off that. It's kind of a means of bringing in some money. Could you let me come to your country and get a visa? Because you have to show some ability to contribute to the economy for a country to let you in. It's stupid and wrong-headed. It puts greed before human lives. People may be fleeing, but be disabled and such. They shouldn't be trapped in what's becoming authoritarian regimes. It's not just the U.S. I mean, maybe you don't think U.S. is going fascist, but there's plenty of countries that have gone that way in, say, Latin America. Should refugees not be able to leave those countries because they're disabled? Should they have to die, get murdered by cops, whatever? So, yeah. And the third thing is sometimes talking politics here and there when my mind wanders, or my political videos, or just to keep you folks entertained. And let's create a route here. The AI is very, very good at making it impossible to make much money off these routes, but they oversaturate stuff, and then God, no, don't. It's been a little bit, so you have to forgive me. No, I know. There we go. Give me a second. Oh yes, add stop. There we go. There we go. This is just stupid name, and it defaults quickly. All right. And I remember how this works. This is a logistics game, like Tycoon Transport type of thing. If you guys weren't clear, the main cargo is going to be, where is it? Here we go. Rare resources from the moon to Earth. Just to make it clear what's in a given place, what the supply is actually for. Here we go. Oh, is that Earth? No, that's Luna. Good. Pick up next top demand, which would be going to Earth for rare resources. Over and distribute. Yep, the overall very simple route. Just making sure I don't have anything weird. You can't keep passengers on the ship. It's always deliver all on that. Except I'll pick up some passengers and water. There's always water needed on the moon. A tiny amount of consumer goods, luxuries, medicine. Cool. I know how this works. I wish there was what this game was development stopped. I mean, it's in a serviceable state, but one of the things is the UI could use some work, including how to get rid of these stupid tutorial things. And you play the game for and just reinstalled it, as I have. Yep, dry climate storage, food, rare resources, and refugees. Occasionally there's water demand. Keys on passenger. I always do passenger. Man, they have all these empty passenger seats. Um, hmm. Right, fine. 1622. That's enough. Yep. Oh yeah. I need a gate at the moon too. Rockets can be made without can land without a receiving gate, but if it's a reusable spacecraft like this, which reusable is always for now. Intersystem doing 909. Cool. Oh, shut it. All right. So, I mean, if you really want, you could pause and read that, but I'll explain things as it goes along if it becomes relevant. There's occasionally business passengers that go both ways, so or rather, it'll most likely early on be colonists to the moon, but business passengers occasionally back to Earth. There can sometimes, when the moon's population grows big enough, be business passengers the other way. Just making sure I didn't miss anything with the rules. Nope, looks good. Unpause. Oh, that's what it was. O for orbit. So I key for that. All right. This is on order for now. You can see that's the ticker until it's done. So let's turn up the speed. And where is it? I'll duplicate it now. Don't want them too closely clumped together. Got two of these 909s. Oh yeah, that was the thing I was going to change in the route roll. It's not too late in any way. There could be food, although eventually the moon becomes sufficient for food. Not water, but food, once it's developed enough. No, wrong resource. Oh, misclick. It's annoying whenever you're trying to do food. You can easily misclick there. Soundtrack is also not varied enough for this game, honestly. Food, rare resources, water, consumer goods, luxuries, medicine. Cool. One of the nice things about having AI companies is, in theory, they'll fill in niches, things I'm not transporting. Of course, in reality, they'll be lucky not to go bankrupt. The AI could use some work. Let's see. Ship icons, ship models. Yeah, so, yeah, I know I have no research points. Shut up. Research points are very expensive to acquire, and that you have to build a research facility. Speaking of building stuff, let's get started on. Oh, I already have a medium office and maintenance shed, it looks like. Or rather, they're probably shared by all companies. Let's double check that. reputation from office. Pretty sure the offices are shared. Or I started with one, I'm not sure. You can't upgrade past medium at this point. These are some of the factories that make stuff, obviously. However, I don't have an office on the moon. Offices are rather large capital investment at this point, but they do improve your reputation over time, which gets you better prices on goods received at that location. So that's when I'm occasionally bringing food or water to the moon. Reputation decays over time if there's unmet demand more quickly the more. So for a tiny place like the moon, a medium office is probably more than enough. Whereas on a really densely populated area, even a large office might not be enough. You could have multiple offices. Oh no, it does not stack. That's right. Yeah, if you do solar responsible, Earth starts off somewhat less developed and without colonies on Mars and the moon yet. I could take a quick look at what they're transporting. Looks like they're transporting food to Mars. See unmet demand for stuff, food, water. Turn up the volume over here a little. I don't know if you guys can see that. Turn down the master volume a lot. Sometimes I can have problems with games like this with some sounds not going at all, but it's the volume defaults too loud from the headset I'm using. This is a different soundtrack. Maybe you get different ones when you have competitors and it's triggered by something they do. I do some of these notifications. I wish there was a way to disable them, like no gate. I know there's no gate because occasionally the two ships arrive back to back and the other one's still unloading, kind of thing. See, subsidies, so they'll pay extra for food and water right now. I'm transporting food and water. Double check that. Earth to Luna, water, food. Yep. Making a nice profit for now. Loans can be paid with moderate interest. Line of credit is a higher interest revolving account. All the interest paid monthly. Bonds most attractive. Pay a small amount of interest each year. However, the full principal amount is due at the end of the period specified. Credit rating makes, yeah. Yep. You can see these are not good interest rates. They're very high, probably unrealistically high, considering, like, in the world, hey, money's often lent. Well, you have governments often lending out to banks at like 1% interest rates, and then the banks lend out maybe 6%, not 6 to 9 to companies. It's not two-digit numbers usually. Now, Midway starting credit rating is, well, A. So, yeah, these are unrealistically high. It makes loans and bonds often not worth taking out just because it's not balanced in a realistic way. Discourages you from taking out any debt. It's often stupid to do. I'll find out every time they build a maintenance shed or an office. Speaking of which, I actually need a maintenance hangar. No point in sitting on money. The biggest maintenance sheds provide the best maintenance. They add a certain reduced deterioration of ships, as well as they can also repair ships. The large ones can go to interstellar space, medium, interplanetary, and small. I think it's like with a range around between planet's moon. Let me show you guys what that's. You see, there's deterioration and disrepair. Disrepair accrues over time with ships. It's based on the design partly. There's no undoing disrepair, and it'll make ships less reliable. Deterioration. Or am I mixing those up? Well, anyways, one of them can be repaired. Yeah, no, because deterioration is what it repairs the maintenance shed, right? Yeah. Anyways, ships become more or less reliable over time. Watch this because it's been a little bit since I played this. Yeah, because disrepair keeps going down. I think it's disrepair, yeah, gets reset to 0 if they get regular maintenance. It can also be increased, I believe, with pirate raids. Deterioration increases. There's nothing you can do about it, although maintenance ships will slow it. So maintenance sheds are an investment in having to replace ships less often. As they become less reliable, ships that are once profitable can start to not be because they break down too often. So, and very early ships deteriorate very quickly, so that's where research comes in. Been somewhat more interested for the meantime in creating a little bit of capital and just doing Earth-Moon service, which is quick. You don't necessarily get paid more for transporting things further, so there's the most money to be made here. Food is already capped out. I believe, if I set this route wisely, yep, next top demand. So the ships shouldn't be bringing food out anymore because there's no demand left. Just water. They need all this dry storage, though, for bringing rare resources back to Earth. Which Earth has quite an appetite for initially. Now there's a substantial economy of scale, having lots of ships going in and out of a port, because there's variance when ships arrive, and you want ships not to be waiting too long if they happen to come on others arriving. Basically, the crux of it is this. If you have a large number of ships and a large number of gates, you need relatively fewer gates per ship. So, I do like to group my gates together, which is annoying with AI. There's no way to swap gates or something. I like to have, like 3 next to each other. It just makes it visually easier if they're scattered, but the AI companies always, it's just annoying. Like real airports, they'd be like the Delta sector or the US Airways sector of an airport. Playing for a lot, they're adjacent. Makes it easier to have all the service cameras and such. Of course, probably should add another maintenance shed now. Maintenance hangar for when a second ship comes in. Stuff's at the first one. I only have enough money for a medium one. But it doesn't get used as much. I think the large one is preferred. The medium one would be used when the large isn't available. Still. I probably want to upgrade this one, say I have 200,000. They should be fully... Why are they not fully loading up rare resources now? Maybe there's no... yes, there's none available. Rare resource production isn't sufficient. This many companies competing. With tech, I could subsidize a new mine. Sometimes events allow them, or the other companies could. So yeah, I'm furiously competing for what rare resources are available on the moon. Mars route's less profitable, and I'm letting these companies do their thing with that. I could start to transport a little water there. Take the most profitable stuff, let the AIs handle. Less profitable resources. This isn't even gonna do. No, this is just water. In fact, this can be a full load. It can get issues. These are just water rockets. So anything else confuse me, makes it very clear. Just sending water for now. I like to join things with a dash. Or even name it. Some Sparrow rockets. And click that, and I'll reorder the rockets. Get 2 rockets on. Alright. I need another gate on the moon. At least they cost less than the Earth ones. When nearly all the gates are filled, they tend to be upgraded. The spaceport tends to be upgraded, which allows bigger ships to land, as well as adding gates. Although the gates tend to be a little more expensive when upgraded. In some cases, they tend to be more expensive when a higher percentage of the gates are in use, I think, too. Earth Moon Service. That's my company reputation, not. Bring water out. Alright. Should probably do some machinery shipments. Meh. Maybe more water to the moon. Just put space in for one passenger. I guess for one dry good, because occasionally there may still be rare resources. But this is mostly water, with occasional passenger thrown in. A rare resource. Yep. Mars does pay well for water early on, but not that well. Why is guess just actually being able to do a full shipments. It must be not filling ships anymore in the let's see. They seem to spend forever on Earth. I know about Earth. What do they get to Luna? Yeah, they're coming back with mostly full rare resources. Is Earth not paying well for them anymore? Nope, they're paying well. Why am I not making much profit on this route compared to the other one? Oh, that I'm mixing up routes. That's the water one. Oops, long COVID brain. Yeah, makes sense. Mars thing shouldn't be that profitable, especially with the expendable. Oh, yeah, I need an office here. For my reputation, get better price for the water I ship. Be a long-term investment. Maintenance hangar on the moon. It's like 2 gates there. I really should have done that before. Cool. Upgrade Earth's maintenance hangar. Pretty aggressive about spending money as it comes in on infrastructure. What the heck is that? Is this like a UFO? That doesn't even make sense. Doesn't appear to be in any route. Never seen things like this. It's just shooting through a system and it doesn't track to any route currently. It's not any. I guess that's just a little Easter egg. Never noticed these things before. Maybe it always shows higher graphics since it doesn't have any effect on the game. Most demands are being met on Mars, so I'm loath to spend more. I think it's time to start investing in research. Cost a bit for that research facility, but see in the ledger. When it goes in with those infrastructure costs, make a profit when you ignore infrastructure. Which, I mean, is also an asset that provides return on investment, so it's not really cost. Yeah, I know. Larger office for better prices, or I get the 919. Just to show what that is. What am I doing for time? 37 minutes. Oh, this does not like being minimized very much. Bloody A. There really needs to be, OBS has to have an easy way to say when, where you are with a time on a video. Yeah, sorry about that. The game did not like being minimized. I was worried for a second it would crash permanently. It just took a second to respond. Sloppy coding, unfortunate, but the game has a nice, what do I say, gimmick to it. You're a space transportation company. So 919 deteriorates more slowly. Much disrepair the ship gains per trip. Ships gain disrepair and deterioration while in use, and your regular maintenance to avoid costly breakdowns. High ship deterioration and disrepair can lead to ship breaking down. Maintenance sheds can repair ship disrepair and deterioration. Anyways, so the 919 breaks down more slowly. Not very clever naming stuff. Doing 919 and Space Bus 500. Whereas the Space Bus actually breaks down quicker. Skycry has biases about real life companies. Doesn't require as big a spaceport, but if you have one that's big enough, see the fuel usage, a certain base amount. Space Bus also uses more fuel. It loads slightly faster. And it costs more on cargo maintenance. It's pretty much a strictly worse ship, except that costs us to buy. 19 is better if the route can sustain that kind of volume. Which is big if sometimes, but for longer range routes like Earth Mars, for instance. Okay, now the S key is not working to move the camera down. If you folks use OBS, no way to see how long a recording's been going without minimizing. I'd appreciate it, because some games don't like the minimizing at all. Recordings are over long, or if to cut them with, say, Microsoft Plum Chip, terrible program that. Yeah, gonna be a problem. Alright, got the money. Upgrade the maintenance shit on Luna, since I got reusables going in and out. There. And I'm saving money. Replacing the existing ships eventually and upgrading to the 919s. Well, these ships are making a full load of rare resources most of the time now. Not that many passengers. It looks like no water. Next, the water demand's actually oversaturated. The AI is delivering in excess of it. They don't pay anything in excess demand. You know, realistically, companies would probably buy and store it up and sell it to the populace later. That there's no demand for hardly anything on the moon except for occasional transport of passengers. Probably business pass or tourist Earth. You know, they want to see some oceans. A lot of colonists want to go to Mars, however. Colonist demand will peter out over time. Alright. First new ship designs, yeah, I know. The C certifications lead. What leads to the KH-1 Cune after the Space Bus D520. D520, if I remember, is not as good as the 929, but the Cune is an excellent ship. Oh no, the 520 deteriorates more slowly, has less cargo maintenance. It does take longer to load, but it's much bigger than the 929. And you can speed up loading days with shuttles, which, rounding errors, it's bigger ships are actually benefit a little more from that. So, yeah, the B2 certification is a smart upgrade than the C1. Whereas A is more rockets and short-range ferries. C1 certification is expensive in research points. You can build more research facilities on planets when they reach 100% development. Or moons like Luna here soon enough. If you want to double down on research. You can also do corporate structure, by the way, with tech. Large offices get my reputation more up. So I can sell stuff higher prices to enhance profitability. Mars, that might be particularly valuable. There's a lot of unmet demand, and people are apparently annoyed as if it's my job to meet their every demand. Which, I mean, if I was a state company, maybe. But, you know, for profit, capitalists don't give a shit. I guess people are angry, capitalists don't care. What is with that? That's definitely like a UFO or a scout ship or something weird. Flashes red and blue. Wanders around. Maybe it's supposed to be like a security ship. Oh yeah, they're only popping up actually within the security zone here. That's what it is. It's a security ship. It's like police, basically looking for pirates. Visual representation of those. Cool. There's a huge demand for raw materials. Are there any stockpiled on the moon? Oh yeah. That should be the next thing. Pause. Well, actually, let time go a little. Raw materials delivered to Earth. Pick up next. Demand of raw materials. Cool. What I can do is maybe like a bulk hauler for raw materials. Maybe a little machinery. There's some unmet demand for that. And always a little room for passengers so they can get quick service because they're very lucrative when available. That does mean I need next top demand. Machinery. Over. Say 919 on order. It's got dry hopper storage for raw materials. Can also hold dilithium crystals and storarium later. Some machinery and a little bit space for passengers. They're kind of a secondary cargo because there's just not that much of them. Let's see. Yeah, it's telling me they're building offices on the moon. Didn't they already build those earlier? We can only benefit from one. No, they didn't actually. Start doing another maintenance hangar. Preparation for expanding. Technically adds more repair ships, so it's not useless even now. Barely useful. 5 ships, they'd all have to break down once for that 5th repair ship to be useful, but whatever. Get that infrastructure in. Want another gate very soon. Way after I need another one of these. Probably need more money before I even attempt it. wish it wouldn't. Interstellar Peace Treaty, weapons factory and weapons stockpiles move from Earth to Luna. Oh yes, that happens. Weapons factories, by the way, turn rare resources, which are produced locally, and luxury goods, which are produced on Earth, into weapons. This creates more demand for luxuries on the moon, which I was already transporting out, so cool. Alright, the capability. It's my ships anyhow. No, I didn't actually add transport storage for them. Huh. Yeah, alright. Put one on my next ship here then. It's gotta be consumer goods by now. I already used some machinery because there's already quite a bit. Nanya third gate with all these ships. Yeah, upfront cost 40,000. Alright, I gotta wait a little. That next gate, which is fine. The ship's actually still. Oh, it's almost done. Not quite. There we go. 3 gates north, 2 in the moon. That makes no sense since the moon is cheaper. Need to get a third on the moon as soon as I can. And the pricks made it so there's no space next. They snapped up. No, 14 was always available. Cool. 3 gates, 3 gates. I started doing reusable transport to Mars. Just undercutting my route there. Still making a profit, but it's past time I do a reusable route. Water is still the most profitable thing to transport, probably. I assume it has a low cargo cost. Different goods have different cargo costs. Cargo maintenance costs. There's room for some food and consumer goods too, though. Need a bit of money for a gate and ships to go to Mars. It's more expensive. Yeah, it makes more money off the routes, so they can do it. And plus, I've been overinvesting in infrastructure because it makes the game less stressful. In about an hour here. It's gonna lag for a second, although when it's paused, it's more amenable to being alt-tabbed. Just need the money to start doing a route to Mars. Yeah, these security stations keep coming and going. I don't have a maintenance hangar on Mars. Start work on that. Yeah, he's building shell services here. It's actually most worthwhile on Earth, where the gates are more expensive. Shell services. I haven't bothered with those. Can't quite afford the 929 yet, which is less investment than one of these Maybe good ships, but they're very expensive. 929 actually costs less than 919. Deteriorates less. It's faster. Well, it's faster. It doesn't need as big a spaceport on the receiving end. What's worth? Also, fuel costs are higher if a spaceport is smaller in size 5. So 4 and below, it's worth noting. Because that represents land on the surface rather than orbital spaceport, where I guess like there's a space elevator down to the surface, which is sort of feasible on Mars. It pushes the limits of technology, but definitely not on Earth. Or maybe they come down with smaller shuttlecraft, hence the shuttle service. If it's provided by your own company, it's more efficient than, private taxis. For longer distances, you want faster ships, like everything I can build right now. Slow, 0.03 AU a day. The 929 definitely is better for long distance, although it's still not on the level of the Space Plus D520. That's just a much bigger investment. Research and money. So we'll probably do the B2 certification for Mars service. Gosh, there's not going to be any spaceports left at this rate, although the government will upgrade it when they're all full usually. Need a maintenance shed. So it helps if something breaks down closer to Mars than to Earth. So I'm preparing for all that. Infrastructure is my main outlay cost. The AI doesn't have to worry as much. They get higher fares, so they can run a less lean operation than me. Or less efficient. They'll all benefit in the end from there being AIs because they'll subsidize factories and stuff. And the number of build slots on the planet is actually higher when there are more companies, I've noticed. So more factories can get built in total and such. And since we get a one-player game, these factories compete for with maintenance sheds. If I want to build maintenance sheds instead of adding to factories, yeah, it's just better all around. Of course, the competition causes issues with accruing money much more slowly. Just take a look at these ships on oversaturated route with rare resources. Should consider selling off the most deteriorated ships eventually. Well, having extras means as they start to break down, still keep the route oversaturated for longer to compete with AI, so maybe I shouldn't. Cool. Wires remain to the shed. Huh. I could actually almost afford the KH1Qn. I mean, that KH1Qn space was D520. Realize how much money I'd come across. Between 31,000? Yeah. Submission demand for anything. Water on Mars, I guess. There's also occasional need for weapons, which gets transported from Earth. I mean, from the moon. So they're made. I don't know if the AI is actually doing any of that transport. It's probably not profitable. The price is such that, let's see. Maybe I do a 929 best and nah. I want the Q in later, which comes off this. Space bus it is. Then we can wait to waste the gate. Oh no. Alright. I'm just water to Mars now. Consumer goods are oversaturated. Machinery will be full soon. Really just water then. Passengers. Yeah. Water and passengers. Time for... Okay, what do I need to land one of these suckers? Size 6 spaceport? Ah, that's what Mars has. Perfect. Let me buy the ship when I don't have the gate yet, is the question. Looks like it. Occasional passenger, mostly water. Won't let me. I have to buy the gate, even though I won't be using it immediately. Fine. Water to Mars. On a space bus. Seems inefficient, to say the least. But it's fast, doesn't deteriorate that much. At least it's faster than other ships have. It's actually not that fast compared to later game. It's big. It's an efficient ship. Alright. Should start worrying about corporate structure now. Things do move slower with AIs, especially while recording. Reputation's 100% on Earth. I don't actually need to upgrade. And on Luna. Really just Mars where I need to upgrade my offices. Or people to do PR, I guess. Advertising. Corporations always do PR and advertising to get more money for their products. Large offices, maybe less cramped space, better working conditions. People work in advertising for low wages. You can hire more of them if they have a nicer office. I don't know what it's supposed to represent. I'm always amazed at people whine about, oh, office space is getting to be too cheap. It's bad for the economy. Actually, it's just not, because in the long run, it'll lead companies to use more space for the art workers. So, bigger cubicles, more common areas, higher quality of life for the workers. People technically work for less money than potentially, because the U.S. is very much competing with some of these office jobs with other countries. It helps the economy in the long run, and really it just hurts the established interests that currently own real estate and bought it expecting it to be this price and it's that one. People say anything that's bad for the economy that hurts those with money, what they really mean is it's bad for the certain class of capitalists. Bad for the economy? Not really, in this case. Right. Saving up money and tech points for shuttle services, which are overdue. Allow me to get by with fewer gates on Earth, not have to add a fourth. They don't cost anything, so they help your bottom line. Could do the same on Luna, too. 3 gates be enough for quite a while, but high priority on Earth where the gates are expensive. High maintenance costs. High upfront costs too if you want a new one. 1,000 a month. Mars gate is only 208 a month, and a Luna gate 183 right now. Sorry. All right. Could industry subsidization, but that's very expensive, and yeah, that'll help the AI more. So services, then thruster efficiency. And probably actually I'll go for the KH1 Kuhn before that. Though it needs industry subsidization? Really? I'm seeing a line. There's too darn many of them, but it's going... You have to subsidize industries to do the Kuhn. Maybe you're subsidizing the formation of a third company, because it starts off with just space bus and doing for the reusables. And Farja with a little bit with some ferries, but KH1 Kuhn breaks in. It's clearly named after real life companies somehow. I mean, Farja sounds Norwegian. I guess Norway has a lot of ferries because their coastline. It's just difficult to build roads through areas, so sometimes they rely on ferries to transport along the coastline in certain areas that are more rural. They did historically. I think at this point they have roads and railroads, but because of the historical difficulty and slowness in developing infrastructure, companies that built ferries got an early start there. Because they're early entries into the market, they were able to, build a lead over their competitors. Okay. Shuttle services. Can only do medium shuttle services for now without a large shuttle service research project. Reduces loading and unloading time by 78%, but it stacks with other shuttle services. You can add more than one, and I will, because they all kind of pay for themselves over time. I think I can afford a third. Remaining slots probably have to go into more maintenance sheds eventually, but for now, Excuse me. I'll lead to much faster turnaround. Technically, even give me higher rating for faster cargo times and less save on cargo maintenance while this cargo that's already been loaded is being maintained. For ships loading up on Earth, loading up water to go to Mars, I guess. You still pay a little. I guess you have like the cargo on consign or something. This hasn't yet made a profit. Mars didn't fill up their water demand, did they? Bloody AI! They're always, whatever you start transporting, they decide, oh, we're gonna overdo that. Maybe it's, no, development level, they still need water on Mars. Now they started robotics, though, which, oh, it cut way deeply into the water need. They started the robotics factories. That's right. When that happens, the water demand on Mars goes, they barely need any, because they can almost produce enough from ice mining. Alright. I should realize this was close. It says to be refitted. It's going to cost some money. I can't make any money off the water, so I'm just wasting money if I don't. This might be made off consumer good type stuff, and hold on. Robotics uses machinery and consumer goods. That's right. That's why there's so much demand for consumer goods. But also machinery. It's worth noting. Alright, consumer goods and all those things. On Earth, pick up. Some machinery. It's gonna cost me a pretty penny, but I gotta retrofit this ship. As population grows, there'll be more and more demand for consumer goods, but machinery is a constant demand too. Nah. Keep this low because I'll eventually add another ship on this route. It's easy if I can just duplicate the other one. That way, more consistent deliveries rather than have things arrive in lumps. Smaller, and if the route's close to saturation, will get more of the demand that way. Without over delivering things. Tourists to Earth, and then consumer goods to Mars, and machinery. Gotta watch these demands like a hawk. The AI loves to oversaturate things. Should be a demand for food, although it doesn't hurt. Have the deliveries in case something changes. But yeah, food, water, goods in this route. Raw resources. resources used, raw materials used to make consumer goods and other things. Well, okay, hour 15. Now I legitimately should end this video. So I hope you folks enjoyed this kind of early introduction, I guess you could say, to Northstar Transport Company. Ooh, there's really a lot of demand for consumer goods here. Machinery demand too. I'm going to duplicate the space buttons. I have the money. Cool. Keeping a little bit of a buffer, but wouldn't hurt to have another maintenance hangar. Multiple breakdowns. Just put a small for now. Oh, you don't actually get a maintenance ship until medium. It's more a placeholder. Shuttle services. To establish that. I also just wanted these closer together in the menu, so I waste the money mostly. Doesn't hurt to have shuttle services early, even when not really cost effective. Does increase profits. Gates are always cheap on the moon. Maintenance, so much. I'll spend them medium maintenance. Oop, I didn't do it quite before. I do have 3 gates and only had 2 maintenance sheds, so technically, in rare situations, this will add more maintenance. Rare situations. Alright, well. This medium one's always useful if a ship breaks down here and another does, well, the closer here than Earth or Mars, while the other repair ship is already in use, but these things happen eventually when you got enough ships traveling. Oh yeah, and I can do large shell services now if I want. It's not very cost effective. Yeah, I'll probably go to stay up towards the Tycoon. Anyways, until next time. This is Northstar. Hope you folks all enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves, and may you always find a guiding star and lead you home. Adieu. Best luck.